Hey there everyone, it's Silent Mist, and welcome to my Redstone Dust tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be covering, not mouse fails, but many of the practical uses and how to become a pretty damn good wirer with Redstone Dust and all of its accessories. So, we're gonna start off simple. First, here are all the types of reactors and reactants of redstone, I guess. You have the wooden pressure plate, which you can either step on or you can drop something on to open. That can be used if you want to create a switch that you need a certain item in order to, or if you need an item in order to activate, or something that you do not want to go down and actually touch. Next we have the lever. It is either permanently on or not really permanently. It is either always on or always off. Next we have the stone plate, which is similar to the wooden plate, except you cannot drop things on it. It doesn't work. Next we have the redstone torch, which is always on unless power is going to it from the opposite end or from underneath it, or not from the side. Complicated stuff. I'll show that to you later. If it's not there, yeah, it doesn't work. If it's there, it's always on. And then we have the button, which has a slight delay. So, yeah, without further ado, let's start the actual tutorial. First off, biggest thing, TNT reacts to redstone wiring. So, it's puke. I put water down there so it will not blow up anything else. That works perfectly fine. Flip that. Boom, and then flip that, and boom. So as you see, all three of them react pretty nicely to redstone. Aside from that, all of these doors open when triggered. So yeah, that is the basic gist of what redstone is. Now we're going to move on to the actual usage of it. So first off, I'm going to teach you how to use what's called an inverter, and keep in mind this is all real time, so I may fail a couple of times, but this is what's known as an inverter. You have a torch on one end, and then on any other end, you have a wire coming into it. It can be that way, or even over top, but usually over top is not necessary. But if you were to place something giving it a current, you would shut off that redstone torch. That is very important when it comes to building complicated wiring setups, because this will give you more than the standard range of... The heck was that? The standard range of everything in of redstone dust in Minecraft. Actually, give me a sec. The range of redstone dust is 15, so I guess I'll demonstrate that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, now if I were to place a torch here, this entire thing would be lit up. It's all fine and dandy, but if I were to place a 16th, nope, it's not going to work. So what do? We make an inverter. So you have that current coming to that, it shuts off, and now you have an entire line that can be turned off, but as you can see, it's off. That can be either used to our advantage or to our disadvantage. Let me quickly dig right here and replace something in my inventory with water. Right now, it is off, so it's to our advantage. We have a specific delay time to fire that TNT, because there is a slight delay from when you cut this to when you turn this current off to when this torch turns on. So if I were to break this, that torch turns on slightly after and sets off the TNT. Now this can run into some problems. Now if we were to keep this permanently on, so we'll include one more inverter right here. What do I need? I don't need wooden pressure plates for now. Include one more inverter right here, and now you see this is always on, so it creates a chain. You can make theoretically an unlimited chain, but it's really limited by how far the game is actually rendering the world for you. So the current from that goes into that, shuts that off. There's no current here, so there's nothing telling this torch to shut off, so it is still on. Now this can cause some issues when it comes to detonation of TNT or extremely precise timings, because when it is on... Fail is all I have to say. Redstone dust is being quite glitchy today. Watch, I shall add that. And... oh, yes. Duh. It turned off. TNT no longer... yes, TNT no longer reacts to Lightstone going from the on position to the off position. Originally, it used to, but I guess they fixed that bug. So, as you can see, that TNT did not detonate. If we were to get rid of this, it detonates. Now, I guess I'm going to have to show you a more complicated wiring setup. Not really complicated, just a little bit more to it. We're going to extend the range of this. So, now, yeah, here's the problem. When it comes to using redstone dust, it can be finicky at times. As you see right here, it's not going up to there. Sometimes, depends on what the reactant is and if these things actually work correctly. As you can see, since it's going that way, it's not actually going this way. That's, I guess, a bug of redstone dust. So in order to get this current to finish, we have to include one more going over it. This is an example of when you will actually need to make it go over the block to turn it off. So that's usually not necessary, but occasionally it is. So now... this is how you would build a more compact inverter. There are more efficient ways, but that's really getting complicated. So, I'm just going to lay this out and then show to you the delay on redstone, I guess. So, this will be relatively quick. I don't think I need to do any editing or fast forwarding. So, every block needs to be placed 2 away to make it as quote-unquote efficient as possible, even though this is relatively inefficient. And, oh, I missed. Are we actually doing this right? Yes, we are. Okay, so now we're going to want to break this. Fill it up with some water. Block here and block here. Now, if all goes well and if this wiring isn't going to be glitchy... oh, look. Actually, crap. Yeah, I'll be right back. This is rather glitchy and not working at all. So, oh, or I just... no, that doesn't matter. Okay, now I can actually do what I want to do. Never mind. By breaking this, there will be a slight delay, and then that TNT will go off. Observe. Slight delay, not too long. But yeah, it did go off. It was slightly delayed, and it is almost nighttime, so I'm going to cut the video right here, and I will be back when it is daytime. And we're back. Now that it's daytime, we can continue this tutorial and... oh, yeah. It got a little mixed up there. So now that I've taught you what an inverter is, I'm going to show you how we can use these to make a lock. Locks are relatively simple, and... yeah, actually, no. Before I show you a lock... no, we'll do that after. So locks are pretty simple. The purpose is, since... redstone dust or redstone torches only react or always react when there is a current going through it. So let's say this is a positive current or the on current. Whenever one of these is flipped on, that switch will be there. So the purpose of this would be to have all of these turned on, or some of them turned on and some of them turned off. All of this would be hidden, like behind a nifty little wall, because usually, redstone dust can, or redstone reactions can go through a wall. Like, as an example, you have here and here, here and here. You need to make sure that it's aligned correctly. You need to make sure that it's actually going into the brick. Like, if I were to have this, I am pretty sure it would not work. Yes, as you can see, nothing works. But if I were to do this, break this, oh, whoops, I forgot to include this. Oh, what am I doing? It'll go, oh, straight through it, so if we were to have this, it still would work perfectly fine, because as you can see, that's still off. Turning this back on would turn it back on. So, another example, flip the lever, that is now off. So now you would have these in some random position. As you can see, that one's down because I did not include an inverter over here, so it is still giving it its normal current instead of its current in a different It's opposite current. And yes, the only way that this can be triggered is if all three of these are turned to the off position, or if all three of them are turned to the position where these will all be off. So turn that one off, nothing happens. Turn that one off, nothing happens. Turn this one on, and both doors open. As you can see, there are two. Redstone dust can also move up if it is used in a torch, so it has a 1 block up. Actually, 2 blocks in some cases. That's more complicated, but yeah, I'll show that to you later. So it has 1 block up, and that only went up when all 3 of these were placed. You turn off any one of these, and that door will close, or turn on any one of these. Now, what you could also do to make this puzzle a little bit more challenging is you could add hidden somewhere, like, let's go over to the other end where there isn't gravel. Hidden down here, you could have a more complicated setup where you would have an underground passage of some sort, and then tunnels back up to where you need it. And then this would connect to over here, where it will connect to that one, where this will be in a permanently on position, or not permanently on, but on until something is put onto it. So this will be a usage of the pressure plates, of using the pressure plates where it is actually much more convenient to have it where you need to drop an item on it. So, oh crap, place. Put that there, and then we need a wooden pressure plate. We could use a stone one here or something else like a lever, but oh yes, as you can see there are items on it, so let's I can't. Crap. Really don't get off of there. Okay, good. So now what you would do is something like, okay, this would be hidden in normal circumstances, so just, yeah, there we go. Now, even if you were to hit all of these, it wouldn't matter, because it's stuck on a permanently on position due to the redstone limit being 15, and this inverter causing, going into here, causing everything to be forced on, because regardless of the direction, no matter where, you can have, it is not like normal electricity, where, if you have a current going in the same or in opposite directions and it collides, you will have problems. So you can have this without issues. So let's put levers on both of these. The only way that you can turn this off is by flipping both of them. Put one on top of here. As you can see, it travels up like that. If you turn that off, it doesn't do anything. If you turn that off, if they're both off, then yes, it works. So you can have multiple things going together and into one thing, like right there. So right here, this is flowing into this one, making sure that it is permanently on. And the only way to fix that would be by breaking this, making sure something lands on it to turn this off, and it's not off because the current from this is still flowing into it. So what we do is flip all of these, and voila, the door opens. So that's your basic lock. You can make it a lot more complicated if you want to. You can have like 10, 20, 30 switches, just as long as you make sure that the redstone is all getting power at the correct location, and it is not, nothing is contradicting with something else. And talking about contradictions, it's time to get into shorting inverters. Right here, this inverter is relatively simple. It's one that short circuits. Right now, this switch is on the on position. Yes, it's a bit awkward because of the way that it's set up. It's on the on position. So this is getting power, forcing this to shut off. Now, if I were to turn this off, this is flashing, as you can see. That's because one of these torches is providing this entire thing with power, which is then flowing up to the top, telling it to shut off. So that can cause problems if you're wiring incorrectly. Now, in some cases, you can also screw up. I'm not exactly sure how this is done, but I can attempt to replicate it. Let's see. Something like, I believe, like this. Yes, there we go. And I believe this will short even like this. I don't know. I guess not. Yes, right here is a shorting inverter. Now, this is similar to that, where right now it is off, and that's because every once in a while when you're making a shorting inverter, it just permanently kills itself. But basically, this provides power to this block up here, which will then power that block, giving this torch power, making it useless. Or making it short. So, if you're ever using something where you need to start to layer things in a more complicated way, like in my, what video was it? In both the Halberd 2.0 and 1.0, my wiring setup was a bit inefficient, and in the 2.1, which there's still no video, the wiring setup is very inefficient because I have this ridiculous, like, setup where everything is built on diagonals to get up to levels to provide everything with power at the same time. Now, in the Railgun and the Halberd 3.0, which is kind of still not non-existent, it has a much more efficient setup, kind of similar to this inverter right here, where it has a range of up to 30, but you really can't make it 30 unless you include more inverters. So basically, it's something like this, where you have a much more complicated inverter. We'll use levers for the sake of permanence. So, any second now, we will lose power because of the range. Yes, it's 17 blocks, or 16 blocks long, so we can give it complete power. That means everything is getting maximum power up until right here, where if you were to connect it off, I believe it will only have a range of 6 because it's in the middle of a structure, it's in the middle of it. So, it's not receiving the full power. So, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, why did I do 2? It was just so I could get it completely centered. If I were to get rid of 1, that wouldn't matter at all. It would still be 6. Same with the other side. And, this is what I used in the Railgun's wiring, which, that doesn't have a video yet. Except, this is stacked up multiple layers tall. Every other layer is an inverter going up, and then there is an inverter connecting, and then there is a wiring setup connecting each one of these and each one on that side, all connected up to one button, and everything needs to be exact. So like right here, being sent so many things on Skype. Right here, in order for a cannon to work, this is just a cannon, you need to simultaneously set off all TNT at once unless you want it otherwise to push more TNT forward. Now, in order to do that, you need to make another inverter because, yeah, right here. Break that. If you were to have one here and then one here, dang it, it's nighttime again. You would not be able to hit both of these at the same time, and you could just put one down here, and I guess I'm working into the night now. Put one down here, and then, let's see, time to get into complicated wiring. One down here, the switch will go right here, and then that will go into that one, and then that will go up here, then up to here, and then over, around, over. That will not work. This will not work because, as you can see, this is going that way and not that way, and I should probably get some torches to illuminate this area. And this is where the wiring can get really complicated. So, to avoid this, right here, what we're going to want to do is break what we just did and place another block right there. Now this block is also useless. We don't need it anymore. And then we're going to need to rewire a little bit more, so we're going to need to place the lever there, and then place this up to here, and then over to here. Now, if we hit this lever, both the top and the bottom row, will lose power at the same time. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but when you're making this extremely tall, and by extremely tall I mean probably about 30 blocks tall, you're going to need to start including inverters and more inverters, so basically it'll start to look something like this, where you'll have, I'm not going to build an actual model of it because that would take an extremely long time. You would have an inverter there, you'd have an inverter there, and you'd have an inverter here. Now basically what you would do is you'd have one right here, which would connect to both one right here, and then you'd have a more complicated one that would spiral up to go up there. So then you could power this that, and the top block up there, which I can't reach anymore. So this will set both of those off at the same time, setting all three of these off at the same time. And then you will be able to build an extremely tall cannon or whatever other structure you need. So yes, that's the basics of cannon building with inverters. You don't necessarily need inverters for cannons, but it makes it so you can build cannons significantly larger and stronger, so it's highly recommended, for at least for me. And yeah, that concludes the cannon part of this tutorial. Now I'm going to teach you about booby traps, but I'm going to wait till daytime for this, so I will be right back. What a beautiful sunrise. Yes, we're back to the final part of this tutorial, I think. Now I'm going to teach you about booby traps and one-time use switches. So these are pretty close together as they both involve TNT. First off is the simple booby trap, and what you're going to want to do is it's a little annoying because it requires a hole that is 4 deep unless you're willing to break land in the process. So let me get out. So what you're going to do is, like we've been doing, fill it with water. Make sure that the water is placed at the 3rd block down so it can go down a block, because you will be needing... I don't have gravel. I'll use sand for now. Actually, no, I should use gravel to show that it is concealed somewhat. Lucky, there's gravel. So pop. You're annoying. I'll take this fire because I don't need fire. I'll just throw it in the water. And actually, booby traps, these are just ways of being a total dick online. You're going to need TNT, gravel, and water. So what you're going to want to do is place the TNT here, the gravel over it, and then, where's my stone pressure plate? A stone pressure plate over it for the sake of being concealed. So now, to the average person walking by, that's not really easy to see unless you're paying attention. So, I'm invincible, so this won't kill me, but, this most likely will not kill that person. You will need to make one that is not as concealed in order to kill someone. So, someone will be walking along, la 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 la, oh, I didn't fall in with it. Usually you fall in with it. So, you fall in down there and you explode. Yeah, kind of mean. Now, you can do this to make it stronger. That will kill you unless you have health hacks on. That is pretty much guaranteed to kill you. Let's see if I can actually fall in with it. So you'll be walking, and then... Oh, crap! I didn't fall in. Oh, crap! That's... The bottom one didn't go off. Strange. It's supposed to. It's supposed to have a range of 2. I guess it didn't. That's pretty terrible. Can I fix this, please? Repairs on the land which I am blasting on. I'm assuming that was just unlucky because there are cases where the first block will go off slightly before the second block. The top block will go off right before the second block, killing the current, making it so the bottom one does not trigger at all. Let's see if we can actually cause that to work this time, or to not fail this time. La la la. Okay, I guess we're not meant to be using those. I guess Notch fixed that. Actually, now I'm curious. This is for cannon building. If you're willing to make an extremely complicated cannon, you can have a cannon that pretty much fires 2 blocks of TNT per row. And, oh, crap. So, yes, Redstone torch has a current of up to 2 up. I don't know if it still works because apparently things have been fixed. Now, if things haven't been fixed for this, this will have a range of 2 and you will be able to set off 2 of them at once. Yes. Now, normally you'd have this hooked up to a cannon so that would all shoot forward before it exploded. But, yeah, I didn't. I guess I should... Now, I already did a cannon tutorial, but basics for cannons. Now I'm getting really sidetracked from the booby trap / one-time use switches. Fine, whatever. I'll be temporarily distracted by cannon building because it is one of my favorite pastimes. really simple, simple procedure if you know what you're doing. Let's see, that's switch number 1. And then we need switch number 2, which will be like as follows. Then we need stairs so we can actually access this. Okay, now we need to build a second one going over here. This is a really simple cannon. It doesn't require any crazy inverters where you need to, yeah, I'm just gonna say you don't need to include the crazy inverters that I used to make, or that I still do make, that are huge. But simple cannon, not auto-firing or anything. You actually have to do all the firing. So, you hit one, you hit the other. Oh, snap! Okay, I didn't fail. And pew, you have 2 things that go off at the same time. Now, as you saw, they all went off at the same time. But if I were to include an inverter, because, you know, inverters are helpful in almost all cases, this cannon would be rendered pretty much useless unless you purposefully want that to happen. Because now we're going to have a delay that we do not want, and it will really screw up the firing process. We may even blow up the cannon in the process. So actually, this is a really good setup, because I take back what I said. First, these 2 will be ignited, and then these 2 will go off. Those 2 will fire, pushing all of these up forward, and then it will make this have much more strength. Theoretically, so... Wait for... Oh! As you can see, it's significantly stronger than before, though my timing was really bad, and I ended up blowing up the cannon, but whatever. That was a pretty much one-time use cannon. Now, like I said before, when you're getting into complicated wiring setups, this is more like what your things would look like. Yeah, I'll wire this together slightly. I don't want to go all out because that will take a while. Basic principle is to have that there, have that there. I'm being texted again. And then that will go up to these 2. Oh, I missed. Let's see. How exactly can I do this? Ah, I know. Let's see. Up here we go. Then we want to wire these 2 together. Now, regardless of the length, unless you're using an inverter, the speed is always consistent, so you don't have to worry about, like, the speed of light or anything, or of electricity, because it'll all be instantaneous. Oh, this is more complicated than I would like it to be. This is kind of what the, Halliburton's wiring is like, I will not lie. It was pretty terrible. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I guess I'm making things too complicated. That works, I think. I don't know. I take that back. We need... That cannot be there. So, yes, this is where you will need to get quite crafty with the placement of your blocks so you do not short anything out or screw something up. Now, I'm not going to wire the third part of this because that would require too much time, but pretty much, now that these 2... This is hooked up to this. I need to finish my sentence correctly. That will power both of these, turning both of these off, and then if I want to wire all of this together, all 3 of these would be turned back on. So let's put a lever on here. By turning that off simultaneously, or at the same time, there's only one of them there, so that just turns on, and that current will turn both of those off at the same time. So yes, that's the complicated wiring setup, and it seems like I'm starting to recur with all of my stuff. But now to the one-time use things. We're going to make this here lock that we made before a one-time use. If you fail, the lock is broken. You can't use it again. So or you can't use it without actually getting into it. So this is like if you want to prevent someone from coming in to your house and they have time to spare and they start screwing around with your inverter. Well, not anymore. So we're going to need to use TNT and water because, oh sure. Oh god, what's this go to? Does this just go to nothing? We will use this. Okay, so you can place redstone wiring right over TNT. Now, to show how this would be used in the actual lock, right here we have this inverter, which we'd have another inverter right here hooked up to, crap, that needs to be placed afterwards. My bad, I'm getting impatient. So now we'd place that. Is this correct? No, we need... Actually, we had the right amount. My bad. Place. I really hope this doesn't do what I think it may do. Yep, it does. I pretty much just ignited TNT with my right click. Yeah, instantaneous. That is very bad. I don't know if these temporary locks work anymore. Oh, I know what I can do. Time to make this bigger. I think I know what I need to do. And yes, redstone wiring can get unnecessarily complicated at times, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's see. I need this to be on the permanent off position, so we don't need that. Crap, but I do need another inverter that's... Okay, look at that. We have to make this nice and, unnecessarily large, so one more right here. Get off of here. Actually, all of this needs to get out. Our old shorting inverter is no longer usable. What am I thinking of? I actually need two inverters right here. My bad. Oh god! And now you see, even me being like a ridiculous wirer can get a little screwed up when it comes to building more complicated things. One-time use things can get to be a little annoying. Let's see. Okay, I now know what I need to do. Will this fit is the question. I kind of screwed myself over by giving myself a small amount of space. Actually. Huzzah! This works. Now with this being permanently off, I think I need one more inverter. Nice. Oh, jeez. Now this is the problem with doing real-time recording. You can end up making things extremely complicated. Now what you do is you place that block of TNT right here. Crap. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. That is most definitely wrong. There is the need of one more inverter, but then this won't work. Yeah, this doesn't... I'm pretty sure this might not work anymore because of how TNT immediately reacts with redstone. If anything, yeah, that's definitely not going to work. So I guess I'll give you the rundown of the old way. Pretty much, when you trigger that switch, the TNT will ignite, breaking this redstone block right here, breaking the current, making it so it will be jammed in the on position. Like, by breaking this torch, that TNT block will be ignited, and then that will no longer exist, making this inverter permanently on. And right now it is... Oh, wait, did it actually work? No, it did not. Never mind. Yeah, that no longer works, so just disregard what I said unless there is a way to get it to work, which I'm not completely sure if there is. But pretty much, if you were able to absorb my odd commentary in the way of, or if you were able to absorb my odd commentary, you should be able to know how to build something decent with redstone dust now, and oh snap! If anything, I hope I at least helped you get a grasp on this. I'm gonna just go over one more thing one more time. The two types of inverters and potentially more complicated inverters, and oh crap, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I kind of forgot to show you one type of inverter. This is a useful inverter in some cases, but in other cases it's pretty useless. This is really useful if you have if you need something to go straight up and you have a lot of room to do it, because it is anything but space efficient pretty much. It goes straight up. What I'm building beneath me is just so I can actually get up here. I'll destroy it when I go back down. I should probably place a torch right here. Yeah, that's good enough. And then we'll have redstone dust. And what am I doing? I'm building a TNT dropping machine, I guess. This will drop 1 block of TNT straight down. And let's go back down. That's not a spider, is it? Whatever. So yes, as you can see, it looks kind of odd, but this should drop that block of TNT directly into here. So let's see if I did it right. Oh, yeah, I forgot it needs to be in the off. Okay, one more time. So you can see, straight down into there. Go straight up. This is the only way you can build it as far as I'm concerned to make it go straight up. There is a decent delay. Watch as you can see it. Ah, crap. Am I sticking up? I need to stick a torch up there. And yes, that will also supply current to that, but there is a decent delay between the time that you hit that and that goes off, so keep that in mind if you're using it in a cannon where you need a specific delay time. If I am not mistaken, it is either, I can't remember off the top of my head, it's either 32 or 37 or 36 normal inverters, like the compact ones that I use, which are the ones that I put into the halberd. Yeah, we'll go this way. It takes 32, 36, or 37. I can't remember the exact amount. Sorry about that. But give me a sec. Of these to successfully set off. Well, I need to give you a better example. 30. If you have a cannon that you want to fire or auto fire by itself, you will send 1 current to all of the ammo, which will turn it on. And then you will have a separate current, which does not have any inverters going to it yet, into an inverter system like this, which has either 32, 36, or 37. I'm pretty sure it's 37 of these. I might be wrong. To set off the ammunition right before the TNT itself actually explodes. So that will give you maximum range when it comes to long-range shooting, but yeah, aside from that, it's not too useful. But yeah, that concludes the oh wait, we need to do minecarts. This is really quick actually. Minecarts are also reactive to, or mine tracks are reactive to red. I don't know if they're reactive to redstone or redstone wiring. Okay. I guess they are. So this makes a switch. You turn it on, it switches. Pretty simple. You don't even need to have redstone. You can just have the switch right there. You can have it permanently. I guess not right there. You can't. You can have it permanently on. But yeah, it's pretty useful. You're building a railcart system, but aside from that, I can't give it any other good purpose. But that is all. So if you enjoyed this redstone tutorial, and if it actually made sense to you, please say so in the comments. If it didn't, I'll probably shoot another one, because I'd like to get the knowledge of redstone out to everyone, because so few people actually know how to use it and how to wire real things. So yeah, in the next Minecraft video, I'm probably going to show you the construction of the halberd 3.0. So until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.